Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel, leave your like and your comments. 2 days later, Messi entered the field to play the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey against Valencia, earning a place in the final of the national competition. In that game, Messi set up the move for the first goal, scored by Fabregas. His team won 2-0 and qualified. Subsequently, the former Argentina player, who defended Benfica in Portugal, Pablo Aimar says he is honored to be one of Messi's inspirations before he turned professional. Messi stated that he always loved watching him play and described Aimar as a brilliant player. On February 11, Messi played a match with the mixed team of Barcelona that was preparing for the grand final of the Copa del Rey. In that game, Messi and his team produced little football and ended up losing to Osasuna, at the time, the 8th place in the league table of the Spanish championship. Throughout the championship, his team did not have a good performance, as they lost points and even saw their archrival open 13 points of difference in the competition, practically ending Barcelona's title chances. In the Champions League, Messi opened the round of 16 with his right foot by scoring a goal and making a beautiful play for Alexis Sanchez's goal in the 3-1 victory over Bayer Leverkusen at the Bay Arena, in Leverkusen. In that game, he left the field praised for his performance and confirming his team's favoritism. The curious fact is that after the end of the match, Bayer players Michael Kadlec and Manuel Friedrich exchanged shirts with the Argentine, causing revolt by the former German player and current manager, Rudi Völler. According to Völler, his team was very excited to secure the souvenirs at the end of the game, and that Messi's shirts would be auctioned off for a good cause. On February 17, together with his professional partner, Kaká, he ended up donating autographed game shirts for charity auctions. 2 days later, on February 19, Messi would make another spectacle of the season, this time against Valencia, opponents of the Copa del Rey semi-final. In that game, Barcelona won 5-1, with 4 goals from the Argentine. The first of them was in a play by Pedro that ended with Messi's conclusion, and at the end of the first stage, he managed the comeback. He scored 2 more goals in the second half and saw Xavi score the last of the big win. At the end of the game, Messi was applauded by the Catalans. That game was much more than special, as he became the youngest Barcelona player to make 200 official appearances in national competitions, surpassing Xavi, Iniesta and Valdés, his current teammates. On February 26, his team faced another great game for the Spanish championship, this time against Atlético de Madrid, and away from home. After seeing his team open the scoring with Daniel Alves in a move started from his feet, he scored a beautiful free-kick goal in the 35th minute of the second half, which ended up liquidating the Coolies' victory over the Madrid team by 2-1. At that point in the competition, his team was still 10 points behind first place Real Madrid, who had 64 points. On February 28, in a Barcelona press conference, Messi reaffirmed to those present that he would never play for Real Madrid and always spoke of his desire to remain at Barcelona until the end of his career. "I've answered that question many times. Barcelona gave me everything. I grew up in this club, they knew how to take care of me here. I owe everything to Barca and it would never have occurred to me to leave for a rival club, let alone for money. I'm really happy where I am." After serving a suspension for the weekend's La Liga game against Sporting de Gijón, Messi returned on March 7, in a game valid for the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League, yet another spectacle for Barcelona starring his shirt number 10. After winning 3-1 in the first leg in Germany, Barca made it 7-1 at Camp Nou, with 5 goals from Lionel Messi. On aggregate, Barcelona secured its classification by 10-2, 3-1 in the first leg, 7-1 in the return, and Messi broke some more records. He became the first player to score 4 goals more than once in a single Champions League match. The first had been on April 6, 2010, in a match against Arsenal, and later the first to score 5 times in the same match of this tournament. On top of that, he is still on his way to becoming Barcelona's all-time top scorer. At the end of the game, coach Pep Guardiola commented that the throne of world football belongs to Lionel Messi and will only change when he leaves it. The Argentine helped Barcelona achieve a historic moment. Based on the good football presented in recent times, it qualified for the quarterfinals for the fifth year in a row, being a semi-finalist in two and champion in the years 2009 and 2011. Another who commented on Messi pointing out several praises was the world champion defender with Germany, Franz Beckenbauer. In an interview given on April 7, the former defender considers Messi to be a fantastic being, bringing together qualities of great ancestral players such as compatriot Diego Maradona and Bobby Charlton, England's top scorer in the last century. Messi is a genius, he has everything. On the one hand, he is very skilled and intelligent on the pitch, with a similar left foot to Maradona. On the other hand, he also has Bobby Charlton things, because he is a gentleman you will never hear anything negative about, neither on nor off the pitch. 3 months before the end of the European season, which usually ends in June, Messi surpassed his mark in the 2009-10 season on March 7. By scoring the fifth goal against Bayer Leverkusen in a game valid for the Champions League, the Argentine reached his goal number 48 of the season, since in the previous season he had scored 47 goals. His highest scoring season was in 2010-11, with 53 goals. His former Barcelona teammate and 2006 Champions League champion, Portuguese Deco, declared that the Barcelona of today without Messi would not be the same. He also considered that Messi could turn out to be the best player of all time. The 5 goals scored against Leverkusen impressed great footballers around the world, including Manchester United striker Wayne Rooney, commenting that the player is a joke, the best player of all time. Others who exalted him were the champion players with Brazil in the World Cup, Ronaldo and Rivaldo. The vice president of Milan, one of the biggest clubs in Italy, Adriano Galliani, commented that he witnessed great stars of the past like Pelé, Diego Maradona and even Alfredo Di Stefano, but that none of them could be compared to Messi. On March 10, in a poll carried out by the newspaper Marca, one of the most famous European newspapers in the world, Messi was ranked as the best player of all time, receiving an impressive amount of 50.1% of the votes, approximately 87,000 votes, surpassing Zidane, Maradona, Pelé, Cruyff and even Di Stefano. A day later, on March 11, Messi scored 2 goals in the victory over Racing Santander away from home in a game valid for the Spanish Championship. The first of them in a move started by Xavi, who found Fabregas free on the right end face-to-face with the goalkeeper. At the end, the Argentine put his foot in opening the scoring. The second was in a controversial penalty involving Fabregas. In the sequence he took the penalty perfectly, in the left corner of goalkeeper Mario Fernandes and defining the victory. The 2 goals scored by Messi put him in the history of Argentine football, becoming the first player to score more than 30 goals in 3 consecutive seasons. He also reached an impressive 50 goals for the season, 3 short of matching his career high last season. Messi until that moment was 6 goals away from becoming the greatest scorer in the history of Barcelona, about to surpass César Rodriguez, great idol of the Catalan club in the 50s, who died in 1995. With the result, Barcelona reached 60 points, continuing to stay 10 points behind Real Madrid, who would also win at the weekend. On March 12, Lionel Messi held a press conference, and he was normal with the situation of being about to become the greatest scorer in Barcelona's history. In this press conference, the Argentine also argued about Pep Guardiola, praising him and pointing him as the most important man in the club today. His teammate, Cesc Fabregas, briefly commented on his moments with Messi, classifying him as a humble, hard-working person who likes to play football. A day later, the Spanish newspaper AS reported that at the age of 13, in the year 2000, Lionel Messi would have received a survey from Real Madrid, almost closing the deal. The former player of Barcelona, Valencia, and the Brazilian national team. Romário was another who gave his opinion on Lionel Messi. In an interview, Romário said that to be the best he would have to pass Diego Maradona, and then overcome him, and then overcome Pelé and win a World Cup with his national team. On March 17, he scored a beautiful goal against Sevilla, which secured Barcelona's 3 points in the competition, leaving Real Madrid 7 points behind. The victory was 2-0, for Messi, another great hit. He became one of the only players in the Catalan club's history to reach the incredible mark of 150 league goals. At that point, he was already 5 goals away from surpassing César Rodriguez and becoming Barcelona's all-time top scorer. Subsequently, a correction was made to the statistics of Barcelona players. César Rodriguez, the second highest scorer in the club's history, had 232 goals scored in Barca's shirt, making Messi just 2 goals away from surpassing him.